Hey everyone. All right, so we are 31 weeks. Not a lot has happened over the last week. We've been in Thailand. We have been relaxing. It always ends up being really busy days for us, so we'll train every second day. And then on the other days, like when it's non training, we'll explore. So we'll travel around on the scooter and we'll go, do an hour drive somewhere and have a look around and do other things. We've been here so many times and done that so many times now that we are exploring less and less places for the first time, but it's still heaps of fun. And we go to the markets and pick up all our vegetables and all that sort of stuff as well, which is good. What else has happened? Yeah, they're really taxing, tiring days. But so after a big mission yesterday, I got up this morning and decided I wasn't going to go for a walk because my body was really tired. So just listened to that, and instead I have sat here and looked into a little bit into infant formula. So again, I think I said last time the coronavirus is going around at the moment, and it seems to be spreading quite massively, quite quickly now. But so one thing that we're going to look at is having some formula on backup just in case. We're getting lots of other supplies for the house as well, as are most people, just in cases, that sort of situation. But yeah, so I'd rather have it at home and not use it and then have to chuck it out because it expires in a couple of years or whatever it might be, than not have it and something maybe happen to me and not be able to breastfeed her. So, although I am confident that we will be able to, it also is just a good backup to have there in the beginning just in case something doesn't go the way we think it is or if we need to supplement for some reason. Yeah, so I don't think I've talked about it yet. A couple of videos ago, I talked about the midwife situation. So that was interesting. It's taken a long time for us to get much progress on that. But the lady that we had talked to has said that she isn't able to take us on her books as she's so busy, which I can totally understand because we're 9 weeks until we're due date now as well. So it's not. There wasn't a lot of time, and I think that was what freaked me out when I realised that I really wanted that lady. But after time was passing and we were still waiting to hear back from this lady, it kind of gave Bryn and I both a chance to go, okay, yes, we would love her, but what we were happy with who we had, happy enough with who we had anyway for what we're wanting, I guess. So the biggest thing for us is the interventions. More than happy to go to the hospital or do anything that needs to be done if they need to be done, but we just wanted to make sure that they were really only being talked about or pursued if they really were necessary. There's obviously lines and there's time frames and there's this is what a good labour is or a bad labour, or this is when need to intervene and all that sort of stuff, and we totally understand that. But with this other lady, she seemed to have a little bit more, because she had so much experience with home births as well, she had a little bit more experience with the whole thing to know those guidelines, but also to look at the situation and go, okay, baby's not in immediate danger, neither's mum, I'll give them a bit more time and we'll see how things progress. But just seemed quite calm about those things as well, which I think the interpretation of the information is going to be key for us too, because especially for myself, I don't know how with it I'm going to be at the time, and the last thing that you want is someone to freak out and go, oh my god, there's something wrong, you need to be transferred right now, and obviously we're putting all that trust into that person because we don't have the experience that they do. So for us, that was probably our only concern. This lady in particular, who I won't name for a while, but she has said that she would be happy to be our second midwife. So at a home birth you have two. One that shows up, which will be Amy, and shows up when you want her to, or when things kind of seem like they're starting to get a bit more serious. And then the other one that shows up generally will show up. Amy will show up first, and then she'll assess where things are at, and then when she thinks baby is she's definitely going to come, she'll call the second midwife and get her to come along, so that there's someone to watch me and then someone to watch baby as well, just to make sure that we're both okay once she comes. But yeah, so our idea is, and purely because the act was done by ourselves to get in this situation in the first place, but we very much believe will want to try and do a lot of it alone. So in terms of calling Amy or first midwife, that will be as far along as we possibly can. With being safe, we definitely want the midwife to be there when she comes out, just in case. But yeah, so we're going to try and do a lot of it by ourselves, really get into that zone, just be the two of us. We've got our pool, we're going to have a great space, which I can't wait to set up when we get home. But yeah, all that sort of stuff will start happening soon too, so yeah. But so all is not lost. I am feeling better about it. I suppose I'm just feeling the situation is what it is. Yeah, and it will be really interesting to see how it all plays out. But I suppose again, it has made us rely on ourselves again in terms of like getting back what we are hoping for from this birth from each other, which is kind of what we were talking about anyway. We didn't really we'd never asked for people's help, so for having people, a midwife or something that you're putting all that trust into, is so odd for us anyway, because normally we'd research, which we have been, but normally we'd research and do all the stuff ourselves, but obviously we want to be as safe as possible as well, so we are trying to find that balance with everything. But yeah, at this point everything has been super normal. There's been no issues. I've put on 8 kilos now, which I'm totally fine with. Visually everything looks as it normally does. I look quite soft obviously, but which is a good thing, because hopefully that means my body's preparing to be nice and loose for when she comes out. But really it's just my belly that's gotten bigger, which is cool. Food wise over here has been good, not a lot of it's changed. I am kind of just eating when I'm feeling hungry. The first few days I was eating like scheduled meals, such as what we used to do at home. But then what I had realised is I was actually starting to feel kind of sick for the first few days we were here. But what had happened is that at home I was eating all our scheduled meals as we normally do, but at home I would, since being pregnant and especially in the last month or two, I had been like snacking on extra things in between those meals if I was getting hungry, whereas here we came here and literally was just those meals and all those little things in between were gone. So I think overall I probably had dropped a little bit of calories, which was making me feel sick, so I've increased that again. And because I suppose we don't have like a whole pantry full of food here, so it's just making sure there are enough options. And I love the fruit, but I didn't want to be having fruit all the time, just to make sure we control the sugars and that sort of thing. But yeah, that all seems to be good now. We have got 5 more days here. Today is Sunday and we're going to spend the day, once Brendan gets back from his walk, we'll have our eggs on toast and then watch some UFC. That's something that we're really into, so that'll be good. Sit and watch that, and then probably go to a market later and pick up some fruit and other stuff, vegetables and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, next time I do the video I'll be at home and we'll be 32 weeks, so we're slowly chipping away. Countdown now. Technically we should be in the single weeks, but yeah, we'll see how she goes, what she decides to do. Cool. Alright, last thing, only just purely for my own interest, so I remember and so that baby knows and if she watches the videos, but it's been really interesting being here. We've been able to connect with her heaps because of being, not so busy, I suppose. We definitely are sitting around a little bit more and relaxing, which is the whole point. But it's been really nice because we've been laying down watching TV and Brendan's had his hand on my tummy and that sort of thing, so he's felt her kicking heaps more. She's been really active. And then a couple of mornings ago, we were laying in bed before he hopped up and he had his head on my tummy and then she was kicking him in the face, which I thought was quite cute. But yeah, it's been really nice actually because indirectly, we didn't intentionally do it, but coming here, obviously, like, we only really talk to each other, so a lot of the time all baby's hearing is me and her dad talking, so I think that's been really good for the three of us to bond too, in an interesting way. But yeah, okay, cool. Alright, we'll see you guys next week.